Sylvia Machete. You're watching Luminosity TV. I recently found myself on holiday in Turkey with some of my very dear friends, and whilst we had a really fantastic holiday, we couldn't help but notice how quickly the days flew by. It was almost impossible for us to do all of the activities that we set out to do. And before we knew it, 7 nights had flown by like magic, and we were already on our way back home. And it really got me thinking that, you know what? This life is no different from that holiday. It's like a fancy holiday where just for a short period of time, we get to come here and experience. We check in at birth, and eventually we have to check out at death. Our entire life should be something that we look forward to, like a holiday, something that is to be enjoyed, something that we are supposed to be conscious of and grateful for. Not something that we need to take a break from and say, oh, I'm so stressed, I need a holiday. Because in truth, we really are on a holiday all the time. This earth, as you know it, is not our permanent residence. We are only here for a short period of time before we have to catch our flight back. And as spiritual beings, we are the ones who have asked to come here to explore, to experience, to atone, and to make use of all of that all-inclusive benefits that has been provided to us by Mother Nature. We put on our holiday clothes, which is this earthly body of ours, and we're given a return ticket to hopefully help us get back. And yet, how many of us live our lives from day to day in that same splendor and wonder which we do when we find ourselves on a holiday? We have become so predictable, so in our daily routines, that life has become boring and stressful and one-dimensional. The mystery of it is that, unlike our fancy holiday where we know how long we're going to be there for, and we have an itinerary of what we would like to do. Oh, on Tuesday, I think I might go on a boat cruise, and on Thursday, I might just sunbathe by the beach. Unlike that, our life holiday, we have no idea about our checkout date. It's a surprise. It could be tomorrow. And on top of that, most of us have forgotten our itinerary. All the activities that we signed up for, that we promised ourselves that we will do when we get down here. Our true purpose. So much so that trivial matters that have no bearing whatsoever with that itinerary has now become way more important and has taken center stage in our lives. The question is, will you be ready when it's checkout time? Because each day that comes is a day closer to that checkout date, where you'll be asked that question. What have you done with your time? Where are you going from here? How have you lived your itinerary? Will you have the right answers, or will you be found wanting? What I also found interesting on my holiday was how easy our mindset and our perception changes when we find ourselves in a new environment. It's like we're more relaxed. We begin to slow down a little. We look for adventure. We spend time in nature. We notice every single detail of the people, the places, their culture, their language. We're like little children all over again. But why can't we do this in our lives every single day? Our day-to-day activities is what makes up our lives. And so if we're just working to pay bills and afford a holiday whilst letting the beauty of being alive pass us by, then what kind of life are we truly living? On this trip, I took time out to really be still, to absorb the moment, to look around me and inwardly connect with all of my surroundings. Yes, I did have fun though. I ate a lot of food and I took lots of photos. But what really touched me was that vibrancy of the sounds and the colors around me, the beauty of nature that was so easily noticeable, because again, we are looking at it with different eyes from when we see it back at home. For most people, their home represents stress, hustle, work, bills. So it's difficult to appreciate the beauty around them. And yet we are so far away from our spiritual home. So we must begin to see our lives really as a holiday. And it will help us to accept and appreciate our experiences in this earth life, knowing that as hotel guests, we must eventually check out. And just like the beginning of your holiday, there will also be an end to your holiday. We book these holidays knowing that we will eventually return home. So we must try and make the most of every moment that presents itself to us, taking the joy in the smallest of things as well as the greatest of things. This is how our lives should be. If a waiter was to come to you on your holiday and say, "Excuse me, what would you like for your dessert? Would you like ice cream or cake?" I bet you in that holiday spirit, you probably say, "You know what? Bring both. Let me have a taste of all of them." And this is how we must allow ourselves to experience the highs and the lows, the favorables and the unfavorable moments in our lives that presents themselves to us daily. We must take them and learn vital lessons from them. If we appreciate that our time here on earth is so precious and so short, we will begin to live it differently, knowing that each day is unique and different. On this holiday, I noticed that my attitude and that of my friends was just wonderful and amiable. And I've always attracted good human beings as friends anyway, but we were more relaxed, we were more open, more tolerant, and more receptive to understanding not just each other, but other people and their culture and respecting them, or everyone around us. And the world would surely be a better place if everybody was as open-minded and grateful and tolerant as they are when they are on their holidays. And we take that into our everyday life. If you see your life as an extended spiritual holiday, it'll be easier to vibrate and connect with your true self, not allowing the stress of the mundane, the material, and all the earthly trials to overwhelm you and shift you away from who you really are. Because you know what? Sooner or later, we will all have to check out from our earthly holiday. We'll have to pack our bags, check our boarding passes, and return the keys to the owner of the property. And I think that's the one thing that most people have forgotten, keeping the connection going with the owner of the property. Otherwise, we end up with excess baggage that could prevent us from getting back home. Our spiritual life works on the same principle, so we must try to live our lives spiritually. We have to prepare for that journey back home, and it starts by recognizing that this is but a short time of learning and experiencing. So isn't it strange that everyone wants to go away looking for a holiday paradise? Yet, that is exactly where we have come from, a paradise. Wouldn't you love to go back home? I'm gagging for it. Until next time, bye for now.